Afternoon to our dear friends for this TV, Alpha TV in Rwanda. Just now we are going to enter for you the international scene for the news. The President Paul Kagame types a new RDF cadets on broader responsibility beyond the war. And this event has been this on Monday, President Paul Kagame on Monday, April 25th, commissioned 624 officers, noting that their responsibilities go beyond fighting wars on battlefields to building the nation and protecting the progress achieved. The head of state made the remarks while officiating the pass out of the 11th intake of officer basic training, commissioning 624 officer cadets who graduated with the rank of second lieutenant in Rwanda Defense Force at Rwanda Military Academy in Gako, Bugesera district. Of them, 573 are males and 51 are females. The graduating officers, including 33 who underwent training in partner countries, undertook a commissioning oath pledging allegiance to Rwanda and its leadership in protecting national sovereignty. The officers also include 102 who pursued long-term studies such as medicine, IT, and social sciences, and the combined mathematics and physics, biology and chemistry, law and mechanical engineering. This while 522 officers underwent on one-year program. President Paul Kagame commended on these commissioned officers for their choice to contribute in national security and for good performance in their academic courses. He also thanked the partner countries for offering training courses to the 33 officers and the parents, encouraging their children in this profession. They have reached this stage because of good conduct and capacity. I believe you officers are ready and have all requirements to fulfill your responsibility to protect the sovereignty, security, and this another things like development of the country and its population. He emphasized that one of the greatest responsibilities they hold as an army is to build the country and protecting the progress achieved, noting that going on a battlefield is only done when deemed necessary. President Paul Kagame said, as we Rwandans understand, this is when someone interferes with your peace in your own territory, provocatory, pushes you toward war, or even declares war against you. According to Paul Kagame, Rwanda's history is peculiar in such a way that Rwandans committed killings themselves. There was external support involved to the extent of now supporting the path of war against Rwanda. President Paul Kagame said the war that Rwanda can fight is not the one it causes. And he said this, the profession of army is not for causing wars or provocations. The army is for protection of self and their country against anything that can cost lives. This should be the case for all Rwandans, even those who did not join it. President Paul Kagame added this, not joining it does not accept one from losing their lives. There are many ways one can die, but losing your life in this profession is pride. Being able to protect yourself and your fellow Rwandans. Furthermore, he said Rwandans will never, furthermore, And Rwandan will never and accepting everything. And I think it should be like good when every Rwandans will be keeping the peace of country. Like someone is asked to choose the kind of death they want, whether civilian and child, an elderly person, and young people, as was the case under the bad politics that led to the genocide against the Tutsi, refused to be tossed around, being a coward and all being disrespectful, and fight it. The death that Rwandans should ever opt for is to die fighting those who want to kill them. When it comes to this profession, you not only do what you were trained to do, but also what your heart and mind tells you. The head of state wishes the commission the officers good health and continued discipline of sacrifice and work. He awarded it to Fly Umuhoza, who emerged as the overall best student, as well as Fils Nsengiyumva, winner among the officers who underwent 1 year training, and Yannick Kamanzi, winner among those who undertook long-term training. Brigadier General Franco Rutajengwa, Deputy Commandant in Rwanda Military Academy, thanked the parents for their contribution and how they did it, and instilling patriotism and moral and cultural values in commissioned officers. He, however, said that 25 cadets were dropped due to various reasons, including academic failures and unethical behavior, among others. He mentioned that there are ongoing construction activities to expand the academy with new facilities including smart classrooms, accommodation, laboratories, and multipurpose hall. Soon we will start receiving interested people from partner countries to undergo cadet training. It's founded in 2000. The Rwanda Military Academy has upheld the high standards of academic and military training, matching the global context to cope with contemporary security challenges and threats. In Uganda, we want to beg Museveni for freedom remanded and NUP supporters. That's the news from in Uganda. What you need to know this in Uganda. In the 2022 Constitutional Court ordered that all files of civilians in military courts should be transferred to High Court in 14 days under the stewardship of the Director of Public Prosecution, is saying that the trial of civilians in court martial was illegal. The Uganda People's Defense Force UPDF Act provides for circumstances in which the General Court Martial has jurisdiction over civilians who appear to be the most prosecuted category of people there. We want beg President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for our freedom. It's okay if you want to kill us for trying to fight for our country. You arrested us for trying to protect Robert Chagulanyi's votes during presidential elections last. Now you expect us to beg you to return our freedom. What crime did we commit? We will not relent. One of the political prisoners shouted from a military van and taking them back to prison where they have been on remand for over 3 years. This was Monday after the General Court Martial at Makinye in Kampala City again denied them bail on grounds that 6 soldiers on the panel did not find merit in their bail application. The ruling from the highest court of military justice in the country, chaired by Brigadier Freeman Robert Mugabe, is just one of the several orders that have blocked Olivia Rutaya and 26 others Nation Unity Platform NUP supporters from getting temporary freedom from jail. The suspects were first remanded on charges of unlawful possession of certain explosive devices, and following their arrest in December 2020 during presidential campaigns, before an additional charge of treachery was slapped on them. They have had several of their bail applications dismissed before by the Army Court, largely on the ground that their sureties are not substantial. As a result, 8 opposition MPs and a divisional mayor of 2 stand surety for the suspects. This was after the Army Court in its prior ruling rejected their parents and spouses on the grounds that they were not substantial sureties. During the hearing of the latest application, the state prosecutor, Lieutenant Alex Mukana, who relied on the affidavit as ASP Julius Muzigiti, opposed the bail applications on grounds that the applicants are charged with 1 count of treachery, contrary to Section 129 of the UPDF Act in 2005, and 1 count of unlawful possession of ammunition, contrary to Section 3, for by 1 and 2 of their Firearms Act. He also argued that he refused all grant of bail as at court's discretion, considering all the circumstances and merits of the application. In the court's ruling led by Brigadier General Mugabe, and he says the court found no merit in the bail application, and the court declines to grant bail to applicants. The application is hereby dismissed, and the court orders an expeditious trial of the applicants in the main case. And he says, forcing one of the suspects, Mahisaidin Kakoza, to jump out of the dock in attempt to attack the court chairperson. He was subjected to a beating by soldiers deployed in the courtroom. This was the 3rd time Kakoza, frustrated by delayed justice, and turns loudly in the courtroom. Outside the heavily guarded courtroom is Brigadier General Mugabe, and the ruling also sparked the outrage as relatives of the suspect and the politicians who had attempted the court protested, and describing the decision as unfair. No jurisdiction to trying civilians. And this in 2022 Constitutional Court ordered that all filers as civilians in military courts should be transferred to the High Court in 14 days under the stewardship of the Director of Public Prosecution, saying, and that the trial of civilians in court-martial was illegal. The Uganda People's Defense UPDF Act provides for circumstances in which the General Court-Martial and has jurisdiction over civilians who appear to be the most prosecuted category of people there. Section 119 and 1 of the UPDF Act provided that the person subject to military law includes serving military officers and every person not otherwise subject to military law, who aids or abets in person subject to military law in the commission of a services offense, and every person found in unlawful possession, arms, ammunition, or equipment, and ordinarily being the monopoly of the defense force, and all other classified stores as prescribed on the basis of section 119 and 1, and many civilians have been prosecuted before the General Court Martial for the offenses such as the unlawful possession of flame and of firearms and ammunition, of aiding and abetting soldiers to commit offenses and treason. Attorney General Kidjowa Kiwanuka has since appealed to the Supreme Court and the Constitutional Court. Altogether, they take a decision for that nullified the trial of civilians in the court and in the court martial, and he awaits a decision. This is the Alpha TV in Rwanda. It was been international in the news. My name is Alpha Nibigira. Have a good day.